We're back! Yeah, as we just said, we're back.
Yes, after almost a year of, I'll call it taking a break from our YouTube channel. We're
forced in some areas.
Yeah, like any of you, if you take a year in time, you've undoubtedly had a ton of things going on in your lives. We are absolutely no different. And so we thought we'd take this opportunity to give you an overview of some of the things that have really impacted our lives.
This is actually take 2 of this video because we did one this afternoon over there, which went into like almost an hour. Like that's literally how much has happened. But we thought, no, we really need to keep this really short so that you guys can just get a brief description of what happened, where we were, and like really what's been going on in our life.
And ultimately what is going to be further in-depth videos on other topics. Like this will segue into
lots of things.
A bunch of different categories.
Yeah. But the biggest part is we are back, and we are so excited to be back. Blessed to be back.
Amen.
I mean, really, after the year we've had, we are just happy to be right here, and especially me. Yeah. I'm glad to be right here. And a brand new me, and a brand new healthy me.
Yeah.
Because that year mark was tragedy more so for me.
Yeah.
That impacted the whole family.
Really the catalyst in terms of the timing of when we stopped with YouTube coincides to about last January, and it really centered around you and your health.
It did. Again, we are going to do a whole video on that, but again, I think you're going to see a different me right now than if you went to go look at the, don't you think? Do you think they're going to notice the difference?
They should. What's the biggest reason why?
I've lost 60 pounds.
Yeah.
Which, I say it and I'm like, that's not a lot. But when you watch the videos, it is a lot. It is a lot.
It's a lot for anybody under any circumstances, and there should be absolutely no diminishing the significance of it. You can do that how you want.
Whatever. But at any rate,
more importantly, you're healthy compared to where you were a year ago.
Yes.
The weight is a great bonus.
Yeah.
That wasn't even really what you were going after.
I just wanted to be me again, and I wasn't for a really long expanded time. But like I said, we're going to go into all that later, but we had to tell you about that because that actually spun us into taking the break, and it spun us into a lot of different things that happened along the way. Corbin has a new diagnosis that we were unaware of. We are parents that now are saying we are raising a
vegan.
You heard that right. We are raising a vegan. Are you kidding me? We are meat lovers. We raise our own meat. We have a lot invested in meat. We have 7 freezers full of meat. We love meat, especially bacon. Anyways, okay, side note, how many pigs did we butcher last year?
4.
And how much of that did we sell?
Virtually nothing.
Do we have any bacon in the freezer?
0.
We do.
Well, only because we bought it at the store.
Because it's not ours. We went through 4 pigs worth of meat.
Oh yeah, I mean that's pork chops, that's sausage links, that's ground pork, that's
crazy.
Everything.
But exciting too. That was part of that was a survival for me for a long time. And again, it all will make sense when we start to unravel some of these bigger stories. But literally our farm was able to save a lot of me. And so that was exciting. But so back to Corbin, we are raising a vegan. I still laugh. I know. Not by choice. The poor kid is allergic to all animal protein.
Right. Who would have thunk it?
He has a condition called FPIES, and we will talk about that in one of our videos, and we'll bring in sweet little Corbin and let you see him. He has gotten so developed. Like, he's this little tiny person. I mean, he really is tiny, too. He's a 4-year-old that's like the size of a 2.5 year old.
Yeah, 2.5 maybe.
So we'll talk about that more. But so he got a new diagnosis, which was kind of like out of nowhere.
But again, as we've discovered it, we've now realized how to deal with it, and as a result, he's healthy, and we're doing great. Yeah.
And so we'll do a big video on that, just because really where Corbin is fed is into his jejunum, and there's not a lot of information out there about that. Tube feeding isn't like crazy thought, like when you're talking about a G tube, but when you're talking about a J tube, that's a little more difficult. I mean, we have
is.
found support on some of the Facebook groups and stuff for tube-fed kids, but it's just not as popular, and it does take a little bit extra. So, so we'll talk about that a little bit more, and hope that we can help somebody else. As you see, I'm looking down because we actually have to keep ourselves on track of all these things because there's literally all these things. So Corbin had a new diagnosis. What else do we want to talk about real quick? Well, some of the things that, because of my health, we had to acquire a new set of animals.
Yeah.
The one set of animals directly because
one
of...
was a requirement. The
and
others
what
were
was
my
that?
choice. Ducks. So...
And why would I need ducks?
Especially when we have as many egg-laying chickens as we do.
We'll tell them later.
Right.
So, there's that. So we got ducks. We got 2 different kinds of ducks. We've got... Did you say 10 layers? Was it 10 layers?
It's 8 layers.
8 layers
and
and
then
1 drake. So we lost 1 drake. We had 2. We had 1 drake for each type of... We've got 2 different kinds of egg-laying ducks. But we unfortunately lost one of our drakes.
Yeah, in the first couple days.
Oddly, it was just a weird fluke thing. He was doing fine. We saw him like 15 minutes and then came back and he was gone.
Yeah, anybody who's
I think
had,
he got trampled.
Anybody who's had baby chicks understands.
Totally get
it. It's an unfortunate reality that these tragic things happen.
It does. They were living in our bathroom for a long time. And we have like footage of them swimming and all that kind of stuff. It was on our Facebook page. I did have, we did try to peek in every once in a while on the Facebook page. So you can go back and look at Eagle Lodge Farm on Facebook.
Yeah, we can put a link and all that stuff.
He's going to put a link down there, and we actually had a couple of videos or a video, I think, of them swimming. Super sweet. It was their first swim.
Yeah, it was
which is
super cute.
hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious. Almost it scared us at first. Like the way they just dove down. It was crazy.
The phrase
so
of
cute.
duck to water, taking it to like a duck to water. There is a reason that phrase was developed.
For sure. So we got ducks. Do you want to quickly talk about my new pets?
I'll say it by.
Oh.
Come here. I know you were napping like a good little kitten.
So this is Jasper. He's got sweet little paws. I don't know if you can see it, but he's got little mitten paws. There they are. Super sweet. There is a whole story to go with this.
There's a story within a story within a story.
Oh my goodness, for these guys. There really is. We actually ended up with 2. They're on a raw diet. So there is so much to talk about these sweet little babies. Because they are babies. They are only 4 months old right now. And
but let's for us, we have dogs, we have cats, and we have a lot of them in both.
5 and 5.
But these animals for us really are an extension of our family. I know a lot of people can totally understand what that means, but
I'm watching him. He's like going for the camera.
Yeah, he's gonna jump at the camera.
He's good. He's good.
But for us, we've had animals in the past that had dietary issues that have caused
my other cat
have caused a lot of problems, and so this time we use this as a little bit of motivation to start diving into the
deep end of the pool
on raw food for pets.
Yeah.
And we're blessed.
And
here.
I did dig in deep.
Oh, for sure.
There's some great groups that I will be referencing when I do that video. And we did take videos of the first time they ate raw, which is pretty hilarious, to be honest with you. That was like, to see an animal like in their more animal-like instinct was pretty cool. But so I have a lot of resources after researching this, and don't mind us. We're going to be rolling up our sleeves after a while. This is really warm.
It is.
but it's beautiful.
But you become really, really passionate about the raw diet for a variety of reasons. But as a result, because
diet and whole.
Diet
Food
as
in
whole.
me is...
Yeah, for sure.
I love hate.
But we're in a reality of we've been doing, and by we, it's really channeling through you. But
the support of you.
But it's been something we've been involved with for a couple months now, and we're only going to go deeper down that rabbit trail because it has been awesome. It has been really, really awesome. So the kittens are new. We have Jasper and Nora, and yes, they are on a completely 100% raw diet, and we home make it ourselves.
And we're blessed to be able to do that.
Absolutely.
Beyond.
And then our newest addition to the farm,
which happened only 2 days ago, which you guys, if you follow our Facebook group, you already know because we let the cat out of the bag on there. Yeah. We got 2 Normandy dairy cows. Yeah. They're dual purpose, so but they're high dairy. Like for a dual purpose, they are really high dairy. We actually have one of the moms, Debbie, who actually gives us more milk than our Jersey cow. The milk is
way more.
Yeah, like way more. And they're big. They're really big.
Which comes back to that dual purpose.
And we just kept going, okay, we have Sweet Pea. We love Sweet Pea. We have this Jersey cow, which we love Jersey cow milk. We really, you do.
Yeah, you don't. But why do we all love it? How is
it's sweet.
It's sweet.
Yeah.
And so
it's raw. It's sweet. And it's very distinct. And I'm not dogging Normandy milk because, again, I didn't get to taste it. So there's that. But with our kids and with you guys were able to compare. It's not Jersey milk. It just isn't. And so, and I don't really want to go into it too awful much, but they are very well known for cheese making. And my dairy cow milk didn't do so great when it came to making milk. I know there are people are making cheese. They make great milk. There's so many people that have done a good job and they get by with it. They do that. But I just found I really never could get the cheese to do it right.
You struggled.
I just kept struggling. And today I made cheese with Normandy milk. Oh my word. It was so much easier. Everyone was like, it tastes so much better. So they are known in France for cheese making. That's the first thing. Then the second thing is their meat. That's in France. It's like, first we use them for their milk, then we use them for their meat.
And I don't know about you, but in France I think of 3 things. Wine, pastries, and cheese.
So they kind of know what they're talking about. And these cows are huge compared to our Jersey. And they are comparable. I think they're still bigger and taller than our... I'm curious to see our Highlands next to them because it's so hard to tell. I'm excited to bring up because we actually are going to be testing a couple of our Highlands to see if they're pregnant. And so I want to measure where they are in the stanchion to see exactly how tall they are. But they're pretty wide.
They're wider.
Yeah, so we'll see. At any rate, so we'll get into that obviously more. We'll get some more footage of them. They're beautiful.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, they're just, and it's been a transition. They came from a dairy, a very, very, very lovely dairy, and this dairy totally loved their animals, but they farm different than we do. And so there's just differences. And we would love to do a video about that because we know that a lot of homesteaders try to get dairy cows from dairies, or some go for, the big question always is, do you get them from a dairy or do you get them from another homesteader? And I don't think there's a wrong answer. I think there's just differences. And I think you need to know those differences before you purchase. So we'll do a whole video on that.
Yeah, because technically we've now purchased 4 cows from dairy farms. And we've had 3 great experiences and 1 not good experience. And again, we can come back to that later.
Yeah, it really is a whole video, and that's a very huge education before you buy your cow. What do you want to learn?
Yeah.
So, but Debbie and Ellie have joined our team. We're on day 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, their homecoming was just a story too. They came home in a snowstorm, and so at any rate, they're lovely. We're very happy with them. Super excited to be having them join our group.
Yeah, it's been
a lot of milk.
Yeah,
wow,
it's been a fun transition to see.
The pigs are really happy.
The pigs are happy right now,
and that's really good because the pigs are kind of coming to their end, and of serving us, and we are giving them bang for going out. I mean, they really are not suffering at all.
It's a great way to be able to finish off your pigs.
Yeah, so that's another big thing. The other big thing for us at the farm is we expanded and we're selling through something new. in the area that you are very much a part. You brought this. Well, no, I take that back. We didn't. You personally didn't bring it, but somebody told the idea to us, and we fell in love.
We kind of took the baton and ran with it.
We took the baton and ran with it. Again, there's other people that are involved with it, but it's called
Rico Ring.
Rico Ring. REKO Ring.
And if you've never heard of it, don't feel bad, because the vast majority of Americans haven't.
Especially in the Midwest, because you know what, the Midwest is always kind of the last to join the group.
But basically, the Rico Ring concept was born in Europe, up in the was it Norway?
Those Europeans got it right.
Norway, Denmark.
I can't remember.
I forget exactly
what
it was.
Again, we'll have you probably do a whole video on it, because it's awesome, and it does exist within all over the states, and so you really. I'm going to just briefly tell them exactly, like in a layman's huge way. It's an online farmer's market. Prepaid.
Pre-ordered.
Well, it doesn't have to be prepaid, I guess. Pre-ordered. So as a vendor, I will know what I need to bring to the drop site, if you will. So there's no guessing. I don't have to take my whole supply, all the things I have to offer to like a farmer's market and like set it up and do all that kind of stuff. It's really just somebody online orders it, we take it, they drop it off, and we're done.
Right.
It's a 2-hour window.
A 1 hour window.
We'll totally do I think I'm gonna have you probably do that video just because he's really involved in doing that, and it's still pretty new to us, but we're loving it. So that brings us into our girls are actually taking advantage of the Rico Ring. And so
our oldest daughter is 17.
So she's 17, Callie.
And then Courtney's 15.
And they have your entrepreneur spirit, I think, especially Courtney.
Yes.
Callie loves to do things, and she loves to bake, and the bonus is that she gets to sell it. But she's not like, hey, I want to have a job, I want to have this, blah, blah, blah. She's more of a homemaker. But she's able to sell her baked goods. While I was sick, the 2 older girls were really our right hand, and they took off on some of their skills, baking being one of those. And Callie just hit it out of the park. She is doing pies, she is doing cupcakes, she's doing bread. She's just doing all sorts of different types of things. And Courtney has continued and really blossomed into her soap making. And that's what she's doing right now in her season. But she's also getting ready she wants to do vegetables and sell them market-wise. And I think she's going to do fabulous.
She did fantastic for us.
The garden was insanely awesome this year.
Yeah, it was very.
Unfortunately, I was sick when we were I was at the tail end, and so she just did a great job. We're still eating off of it, like the root vegetables and stuff like that, and the squashes, and we're just loving it.
Yeah,
and she did really great. She's got huge, big plans, but those plans are kind of shifting.
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother story.
It is.
That is a really another story. I guess another quick update about we'll just kind of go down the kids, I guess. Just a quick update on them. The twins, they just turned 12.
Yep.
And they're 12-year-olds. I mean, as a parent, if I just say that, most parents that have 12-year-olds are like, or have ever had 12-year-olds, they're like, don't need no say not no more. Yeah. They're great though. They have, they just celebrated their birthday, and Ethan had a broken arm. A thumb.
Broken.
We didn't even talk about that. He's kind of had a rough year for like injuries a little bit. Yeah, they're oddities. Like you guys were fixing the lean-to, and he literally had. Out of nowhere, not just out of nowhere, but...
wrong place, wrong time.
He had this board fall on his thumb.
So simple, and yet, like, just one of those... it could have gone 100 more times, and the same outcome never would have happened again.
But he did. He just he cracked his thumb.
Yep.
So he was in a cast for a while. That was a challenge.
Over the summer, he was
That was a challenge. I mean, again, Ethan has autism, and... I was impressed on actually how well he did. At the end, it was getting really bad. Yeah. Smelled horrible. Boy, cast, summer, all bad.
Right.
All bad. So at any rate, he broke his arm. Amelia is getting so tall.
She is.
She's almost as tall as I am. Like, she's taking after Courtney and is really tall. So they're great. The 2 little boys are doing well. Jackson is
learning to eat, and he's standing.
He's standing. Yeah, he's still tube fed for like liquids and stuff like that. And then he's starting to explore eating, which is very, very exciting. And so, but yeah, and so far he just really, everything's pretty stable. We are going to have a big surgery coming up. He will have his
pull through.
Well, yeah, most people don't understand that his Hirschsprung's addressed. Okay. And so that will take everybody along with that as much as we feel we want to release with that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he's got that coming up late spring. And so we've got that, but otherwise now we're doing okay. Well. Which gets to be, we're good now. Last month
was a bumpy road.
We finally got hit with everything, because my sickness before was not why the world was sick. We finally got that a month ago, and it hit us hard. Yeah. I unfortunately had a lot of the neurological side of things where, and just the weakness and the head cold and all that stuff, it just hit us really, really, really hard. And it kind of spiked up a little bit I had a flare up with that. And kind of every time I get sick, I kind of have a flare up. And so that was that. But it ran literally through everybody. Jeff was the one that actually did the best. And so back to the first sickness that happened a year ago, we approached it like we do with everything. We take Western medicine into consideration, and we try to lean more towards holistic. We did that when I was sick in January, and we did that this last month. Mm-hmm. For all of us except Corbin, well, we used a little bit of Western medicine for myself. I ended up on a steroid, and I ended up on an antibiotic. Yep. And I used a lot of alternative medications. And then Corbin, unfortunately, was very scary. He ended up on oxygen to the point where we were on liters of oxygen, and he ended up with pneumonia pretty quick, like really quick. When they talk about kids with Down syndrome and how fragile they really can be, we're not like blowing steam up people's rears. No. He literally got sick really fast, and he ended up with COVID pneumonia, and he ended up on a steroid and an antibiotic as well. It was very touch and go for a couple days. It was like, and when I say that, it was just because he was having super high fevers, and we had to do that fine balance of let the fever burn some of it through, because your fever helps you to kind of like sweat it out and just get it out. And most people just panic with the fever, and we just watched him really quick. Like, we just responded really well. And so we had kind of a threshold, and we were talking with his pediatrician, we were talking to his naturalist, we were talking to our herbalist, and a cardiologist, and we had everybody kind of just ebb and flowing really well, and we got him through it without a hospital stay. And like you said before, and when we recorded it the last time, you said a really good, like, a reminder to everybody. His first 2 years of life, that kid spent 256 nights in a hospital, not consecutively, but literally in and out. And so for Corbin to get through COVID without going to the hospital,
monumental.
I can't imagine. Like, it was because we had the tools. And I think that's a lesson for all, even homesteaders. Have your tools. Make sure you're prepared for something to happen so that you don't have to panic when you have it. And also have your people that you can contact. I was contacting friends. I was contacting herbalists. I was contacting our pediatrician. Have that good relationship. And so we got through it. Praise God. You just had a head cold for like 24 hours.
That's it.
How that guy did that is, I feed this guy really well. I think that's how it comes down to.
Because we respect our bodies in a way that we know what you put in is the most important thing. And despite the fact that we were, as a group, really, really sick,
We still made the bone broths. We forced ourselves.
The easy answer would have been, let's order food, let's get takeout, let's
Not
eat
here, it's not.
frozen pizzas, because people don't want to put in the effort because they're not feeling well, which is understandable.
But I think that's what kind of kept us going, because we had to. We just, you know, you gotta get up and get going and do it.
I mean, you were making, beef bone broth, chicken broth. I mean,
Soup,
we were just hammering out good quality
raw milk, because again, taking what we did with the antibiotics and the steroids and our alternative things that we were taking, it was just ripping our guts. And we knew what we were doing, but we knew we had to do that to get better. And so I think maybe we'll do a video on how we got through it, and so that people could, I mean, because again, it's not going away really. And so and again, we did it the way we did it, and everybody's going to do it the way they do it. It's just the same as just everything.
Just
you
our
have
own
to,
personal
you have
testimony of
to
how it
do what's
works.
right for your family. That's it. And so we did get it. Like
for a long time.
we went 2 years, right? Is that what it was? A year, whatever it was. But we just literally got it we missed
Right before
Thanksgiving. We missed Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we totally canceled Thanksgiving.
We tried to do Thanksgiving again, but it blew up on us too.
Yeah,
So we just skipped Thanksgiving this year.
Didn't
And we're
happen.
going right to Christmas, which is whatever. So that happened, but there also was some devastation on the farm this year. We had a very scary time happen on the farm, and it wasn't really like crazy. It was fortunately it was like 15 minutes. Like it was only 15 minutes.
That part. I wasn't even thinking that's where you were going.
It was only literally was only 15 minutes. But it came out of kind of nowhere. We lived through
a tornado.
A tornado literally hit our area.
Yeah, we
went right through our farm.
Yeah, we have 20 acres, so it's a decent sized property, and we had a tornado literally go through the front of it, and
took down
a hundred trees.
Yeah,
I mean we have trees that literally are uprooted.
Oh, the root system
thrown into our ponds. We had every single.
The cows got out.
Every single cow fence was. I won't go as far as to say destroyed.
But that night we had to rush out and go check everybody, but not a scratch on the house.
No.
Because we had cushions outside. We had chairs outside our door.
Our patio furniture.
Our patio furniture didn't even spin. Like the cushions were still there, but we had trees uprooted everywhere. But literally, it was like this protection over every house, the house, every building, every animal. We lost no animals, no humans, no buildings. Praise God.
Yeah, amen to that. I mean, we had no power for days, and we had to...
We have generators. Be prepared.
We had to... I mean, I was out at 2 in the morning to 3 in the morning with the chainsaw.
Because the Highlands got out.
Yeah, chainsaw, cutting up trees just to be able to put back...
But we couldn't even get out our driveway.
No,
because the trees went over across the driveway. That tree got really close to hitting with the boy sheep, or the goats.
Yeah, it was literally...
That was the closest one.
Yeah, that was literally within...
Well, I guess the Highlands. I still can't believe the Highlands didn't get hit.
Let's put it this way. That happened in the middle of the summer, and we still have probably only touched about half of what is truly needed from a cleanup standpoint.
Yeah.
And so that really, really threw a gigantic wrinkle through all plans that we had for the farm. Yep. I mean, it tossed everything out the window. But most importantly, we all survived. Nothing seriously important got damaged. And so we're good.
All that happened over this year, it made us really reevaluate how things flow in our house and how we're able to do things if, I don't want to say a crisis happens, but big things happen, like mom getting sick or kids needing to go to hospitals or any of those kind of things, emergencies on the farm. And there's one big avenue that sometimes always gets hit, and I think that's our homeschool. Because the farm kind of dictates your day. We'll let the cat out of the bag. We're no longer a homestead. We'll talk about that later.
We've grown beyond that.
You keep giving it away.
How is this? This is not news.
But what do they think? Maybe they gave it up. Maybe they did something. No? Okay. Well, we are no longer a homestead. Very easily. Like you said, yeah. I mean, we keep adding. I mean, so what are they going to think, right? But at any rate, one of the things that is and you don't like it to be that way, but I'm also kind of an overachiever a little bit when it comes to that, and I think I was overstacking our school.
You were putting a lot of subjects on a lot of people, maybe most importantly to yourself, because as the teacher to a variety of age groups,
You were
heavily committed.
Because we have pretty much 2 high schoolers, middle school, and then we've got these littles that are
trying to learn.
They're trying to learn as well. So when you have that many age groups and kids that you're trying to teach, it can be very difficult. And we did was it last year for Christmas that we did the first time? We did this one called Gather Round. And we loved it. It was great. It was so well written. The book was great. The best part is we did it as a family. You didn't do as much last year, but we did it as the whole group of kids. So all the way from our high schoolers all the way down. We were reading a lot. We were doing activities. It was all really about the true meaning of Christmas. And so talking about Mary, Joseph, and all this kind of stuff. And we just loved it. It really pulled us together for that season. December, we like to take a break from like all of our subjects.
Call it the heavy lifting of school.
Yeah, so we call it Christmas school. Christmas school. And we really dedicate ourselves to the Lord for that. And we're doing, baking, and we're doing all these different things. Watching Christmas movies a lot. We just try to really cozy in. It's dark out early, and we do
and we do homeschool year round.
Yeah. So we can take breaks kind of whenever we want.
Yeah. So as a result, we don't take a 3-month hiatus in the middle of summer.
No.
So yeah. So we're
we learned the fortunate part. Sorry, I have a scratch on my back. We learned that our kids just really didn't do well when we took that big of a break, and every time we've had to take a break, we pay for it drastically. So the 3 months I was sick, we paid for it, but we were able to keep up a little bit because we were doing stuff like this. So we decided as a group, let's try some of this. After I was sick, we said, how do we deal with something like that if it happens again and still continue to homeschool? Because that just became too taxing for all of us. And I didn't want that to be on the big kids to teach the little kids all the time and all those kind of things, because I just don't feel that that's their job. And so we came back to this Gather Round, and it really is working for us. And so I will do a review on Gather Round and let everybody know what that is more. But if you want to, go to Gather Round, homeschool.com, I think. I'm not sure. Right now it's out of Canada, but I think they're trying to move some of the stuff into the US. Super awesome, quick shipping, all that kind of stuff. But I'll do a whole review on that. So that's really, I want to say that that's not it. That's not.
No,
those
of course,
are just the highlights.
Those are the highlights.
Those are the big highlights and some of those fun things. And there's been obviously a lot. We did video here and there, and we may just show some of those videos. Just because I was watching them, and there were actually some that were pretty comical, and it's our real life.
Yeah,
and so,
I think we're gonna aspire in the next week or so to just put a couple things that took place, and then we're gonna get caught up in real time real quick. We're not gonna spend a lot of time catching up on the last year.
Because
it's good. We want to get into a present tense sort of aspect, but yeah, there's probably a few things here and there that we could.
Because we kind of have some really large, big things happening up our sleeves.
We always have a few things in the works, so.
But the one
is extra big.
But
there's no way to cover a year's worth of life without covering a little bit of time.
But the biggest thing is we're excited to be back. We are so thrilled. We did really, honestly, when we sit back and look over the year, because this is the time of year that we do sit down and kind of recap and relook at what are we going to do different, what worked for us, what didn't work for us, what are our future plans. It's that first of the year. Everybody's doing it.
It's such a natural time.
Yeah. We're not doing any New Year's resolutions or anything. I don't do that because that's just.
No, that's not the point. The point is take a breath, step back, reflect, good, bad,
Indifferent.
Yeah. It's,
And so, but bigger, we're just so happy to be back. We missed this. We love sharing our story. We hope that people learn from it, or, and I don't even know if I want to say learn from it, but are able to see that maybe they're not alone in some situations, that you can do it.
If they can be inspired, that'd be great.
Yeah. Like, I love to bring up those topics that are kind of out of the box, or some people are too scared to talk about. I thrive on that.
Yeah. I mean, 6 years ago, we were living in suburbia.
6.5, yeah.
Okay, 6.5. 6.5 years ago.
The only reason I know this because Facebook tells me like
what's happened.
what happened in the year.
But 6 years ago,
we weren't raised on a farm.
Oh gosh, no.
Yeah, if you've watched some of things, we were not raised on farms.
So the level of transformation that our family has taken in these just couple years is
crazy,
profound, and exciting, and fulfilling, and
blessings,
heartbreaking, and
oh yes,
it's not like
it's not for the faint of heart.
No,
this lifestyle is not for the faint of heart.
Yeah, homesteading and or farming is not an easy lifestyle, but I don't know that there's one that's more rewarding.
I would agree with that.
So with all that, we're excited, to bring it back and come full circle. We've got so many things going on. It's not going to be difficult to come up with things to talk about. The question will be, what do you guys want to see and or hear about?
Are you liking it? If you do, please hit the like button and subscribe. Share, if you will.
Ask for us to talk about if you see that we've got a cow or a duck or whatever, and say, oh my gosh, tell me more about that. It's easy for us to do. We just need feedback from people.
Yeah. We want to share all of our blessings that we have been given, because that's the point of it, in our opinion. When we asked for this property from God, we said, let us steward this and let us use it for your good. And I hope that he's proud, and I hope that we have not been perfect. We really haven't.
Oh, no.
And I will never, ever claim that we have. But we have always, even with the loss of an animal, we always say learn from it. Learn from it and don't repeat the same mistake. And that's what we try to do. And so that's us. That's what we got going on. Again, like I said, if you really like our content and you like what you're seeing and you want to see more of this, please hit the like button and please subscribe and hit the little bell. It'll tell you when we're coming on, and we promise. And I don't like to say I promise if I'm not going to do it. Unless God himself makes it so that we can't, we are really going to try to put up as much content as we can while running a farm, while homeschooling, while doing all this. So it's not always going to be pretty little things right in front of a fireplace.
Yeah.
We're not always going to look dressed up or actually put together, because that's not real. And we are real people.
Yeah, not only is that not real, but we're also not what are the people that do the videos? Cinematograph. I can't even say the word, let alone. We're not video editors. We're not movie production artists. We are just two people that are trying to put things together. So hopefully, over the course of time, the production will improve and the quality of what is.
We're learning.
Yeah.
That's all. So please come along with us while we learn, and we just hope that tonight you are blessed by what we have said. And if you are, please tell us about it. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. I don't care. Like, you're not going to offend me. I have pretty thick skin. So just let us know. And with that, we hope you have a very blessed night. And please join us the next time.
Bye now.
Bye.